Has anybody ever asked you, do you back the blue? And when they ask it, it's usually uh, in a confrontational manner, a little aggressive, as though there's only two possible ways you can answer that question. Either hell no, I don't back those Nazis, or of course I back the blue. What you think I am, some kind of libtard? So my answer, of course, is um, it depends. I think it was the comedian Bill Burr who said, or who did a skit about the absurdity of saying that you love someone unconditionally. I mean, of course, love is conditional. Um, you love someone for their qualities. Maybe sometimes you love them for their flaws. But if that person isn't who you thought you fell in love with, that person displays qualities that you find offensive or terrifying, uh, your love isn't likely to survive that revelation. And if it does, uh, you're kind of a moron. Surely it's the same with your support. Do you back the blue? Of course it depends. If you respond to an Amber Alert and uh, rescue a kidnapped child, of course I back that blue. Who wouldn't? But if you shoot a black man in a Walmart for having a toy gun in a toy aisle, uh, no, I'm not backing you for that. If you um, work a police line separating two groups of protesters, uh, I don't know, Antifa and Unite the Right, and you manage to preserve the peace and uh, keep either side from uh, turning it into a riot, then yeah, I back that blue. But if you walk along that same rope line, casually spraying the protesters with tear gas because you don't really like their message, then hell no, I don't back the blue. If you uh, stop someone from shooting up a school or pull over a drunk driver, saving possibly his and other people's lives, yeah, I back the blue. Um, but if you've ever looked at someone and said, stop filming. If you don't stop filming, I'm going to arrest you. Then, no, hell no, I don't back you. Of course I don't. Your job is a public trust, subject to public scrutiny. Look, respect is conditional. Otherwise, you aren't just supporting uh, uh, the good that law enforcement does. You're also supporting the bad. And I get it. It's a hard job and it's a complicated job. Lionized by cop dramas and politicians, at least you know at election time, uh, uh, spit on by protesters, tolerated as a necessary evil, uh, or reviled as an agent of the patriarchy or of white supremacy. I'm impressed uh, when you do your job well by your ability to set your personal feelings aside and do a difficult job in the face of people who don't respect you. But we have to remember that um, police are human beings as well. And in the same way that my support for law enforcement is conditional upon how they behave, upon whether they do their jobs well, so is theirs, even for each other. When the January 6th Unite the Right protest turned into a riot. And when I say riot, I don't mean the people who were there to protest the certification of the election. I mean the people who crossed the barricades, beat police, uh, invaded the Capitol building, occupied various offices of congressmen, committed vandalism, and carried a flag of sedition against the United States through the halls of the Capitol building. Those are rioters. And we know that at least six of the people who rioted were retired law enforcement officers, and at least eight of them were active duty. Those people, those people don't back the blue. They crossed a police cordon. They beat cops. They broke the law. And if you support the January 6th rioters and their Republican apologists in Congress, then you're not really in a position to ask me if I back the blue, because your condition or your support for the police is conditional, just like mine. You support law enforcement when it shares your values, when it does the things you think it's supposed to do, when when they believe that science is a con, that democracy is really only working when your guy wins, and masks, far from being an attempt to save the lives of people not old enough to take the vaccine or the immunocompromised, they're a secret scheme to steal your freedom. Your support for law enforcement is conditional. So don't make it a point of political hubris that I back the blue. Because you only back the blue sometimes. And if you only back the blue sometimes, then you're just like me, even if the reasons why are a little different. I'm Kevin, and these are my sinister thoughts.